What's up, adventure travelers? Okay, I know you've been waiting for a long time for the next 3-minute geography lesson. So I've magically transported myself to the banks of the Thames River, but we'll be getting back to Scotland soon. As we all know, you could spend 3 weeks doing the history of Great Britain, so I'm just going to keep it short and sweet, do the highlights, a few stats, and hopefully you'll know a bit more about the United Kingdom than you did 3 minutes ago. At its peak, the British Empire was the largest the world has ever seen, covering about 25% of the globe's landmass. They achieved this by having the best navy, the best military, and the best governance on the planet. Even though Great Britain were the victors in World War I, it was a huge blow to the empire, and in essence, it was the beginning of the end. 1922 was the peak of the British Empire. The independence of Ireland that same year would set the tone for the rest of the century. World War II dealt Britain its second major blow. The majority of colonies declared independence between the late 40s and the 1960s. Hong Kong was the last to bow out in 1997. The contemporary version of the United Kingdom consists of England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Even this so-called local history is long, bloody, and complex. If you go back even further, you've got invasions from the Vikings, the Roman occupation, so we won't bother with that, we'll just stick to the more contemporary history. In a nutshell, after centuries of war between England and her smaller neighbours, the UK now has a central government in London, and the 3 other countries have devolved parliaments of their own. On a very simplified basis, London has responsibility for things such as national defence and foreign policy and things like that, and the devolved or local governments have control over health, education and transport, etc. The total UK population is just shy of 70 million. This is made up of approximately England 59 million, Scotland 5.5 million, Wales 3 million and Northern Ireland 2 million. Breaking the numbers down by country is probably more information than most of you want. So let's just say that 76% of Great British people are classified as white British. Asian in the UK means predominantly Indian and Pakistan, and the percentage of those people in the UK are 9%, which I think is the second most populous category. Black British come in at 4%, and there's also a sizable Middle Eastern population from many different countries in the UK as well. 60% of British are Christian, 5% are Muslim, 1% are Hindu, and 20% identify as non-religious. English is the predominant language throughout the UK, surprise, surprise, but the Gaelic languages of Welsh, Scottish, and Irish are still strong and are growing in popularity. Where the UK was once the predominant economic and military superpower on the planet 100 to 150 years ago, it still ranks about 6th or 7th on the globe in both of those categories. Needless to say, you could do a whole documentary series on the economy of Britain, but let's just say there's not much that the British don't do. Everything from financial services to shipbuilding, agriculture and cybersecurity. While the UK looms large on the world stage, it's relatively small by stature geographically. It's slightly smaller than New Zealand and approximately the same size as Guinea in Africa and also Uganda in Africa. So while it may not be large land-wise, it packs in a lot for travellers. It's not a cheap place to travel, but the cultural and geographical diversity are definitely worth the investment. Thanks for having me, Great Britain. It's been fantastic to finally get out a bit further than London to see your amazing, varied and spectacular offerings, including the ducks. There they go. Good morning, adventure travellers. Another dark and overcast day. Here we are in the countryside. I've got a bad feeling it's going to be like this till the end of the ride. Anyway, I think I said that before, so I'll stop banging on. But who knows? It hasn't rained too heavily so far, so maybe we'll get to Edinburgh without getting too drenched. Cross your fingers. Well, just because it's not sunny doesn't mean it's not pleasant. Good morning, Scotland. All right, off to Edinburgh, and the good news is the sun is shining in Edinburgh. Forecast for the next 3 days in Edinburgh is sunny, relatively. So, happy days. Okay, it's 9:30 at the moment, so probably not going to get into Edinburgh until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Big day on the road. So let's cross our fingers we're going to stay as dry as possible. And away we go! Across Scotland from west to east. Wow, I hope this is coming out on camera as good as it is in real life. Look at that view, that's where I'm going. Off to the water. Through the valleys first. Whew. It's not too cold either. I've got my merino on, but I haven't got my windbreaker on. And it's nice and warm. Here we are, back at the ferry. Oh, I hope I haven't just missed it. Oh, fantastic. Just made it. Okay. Thank you, mate. Beautiful. The old ferry again. And off into the mountains we go. But first, across the bridge. Whoa, look at that bad boy. What a beauty. Back in the valley again. Stunning valley scenery. Oh, look at that one up on the left. Low cloud. Still nice and warm though. No sign of rain. Long may it last. Lots more tour buses down here. The roads are a bit more accommodating for the bigger vehicles. Just a quick stop off to look back down the valley. It's pretty awesome. Look at that. Ooh. Well, here we are in Callender. Oh, how about that? Callender Gift Company. It's a lovely wee little town, Callender. But we are just passing through. Wonder if the calendar that we use for dates is named after this place. Could be. 1 hour, 49 minutes, and we will be in Edinburgh. Let's go. Alright, we are out of the Highlands and back to the flatlands. Still no sun, but no rain either, so no complaints here. Out in the countryside. Whoa! Is that a nuclear power station? Are they cooling towers? Oops, there's some more on that side too. I think we're just outside Glasgow, so if anybody knows, let me know in the comments below. So we're here just outside of Edinburgh, and there's a bay with 3 bridges on it. I think that one in behind is a rail bridge. Looks like an older bridge. And over there, yeah, we've got a couple of road bridges that look a bit more modern. Pretty epic. Anyway, better get to the hostel before it's too late. Let's go. And here we are in Edinburgh. Nice little town so far. And a nice little park in the middle of town. Look at that. It's Sunday today, a lot of people out and about enjoying the sunshine. Enjoying their day off work. Argyle backpackers. Smashing. They even saved me a parking spot. And that's the riding done for the day. Let's get off the bike and get unpacked. Alrighty, well, it doesn't get more student hostel than this, but the good news is, despite being a 6-bed room, apparently there's only one other person in here tonight. And the great, fantastic, astounding news is the old bike's off the road inside the gate, inside the fence there. I was a bit worried I was going to have to leave the bike on the road. So that's that taken care of. And the cream on the crop and the cream on top is there's still 1 or 2 nights left of the Edinburgh Festival. So I might just get some comedy in. Have a few beers, a few laughs. How we laughed. Anyway, I won't get ahead of myself. Off the bike for 3 nights, 2 days. Happy to explore Edinburgh. If you'd like to know more about the trip from New Zealand to Ireland, go to twowheelstoeverywhere.com. If you'd like to know more about the IHC, who I'm raising money for, you can go to ihc.org.nz. If you didn't know, the IHC look after the intellectually disabled community in New Zealand, and they looked after my uncle for 70 odd years. If you've been enjoying this series and you'd like to donate to the IHC, that can be done through my Give a Little page. The link is on the screen and it's also in the description below. Cheers.